Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. We have some new florals releasing with Gracefully Created. I will have all of those juicy details down below for you as far as release date and our coupon code so you can get a little bit of a discount. But for now, I am going to show you what we have coming. So this is, look at how deep those colors are. This is some individual flowers. These are fall themed, so we have deep tones in there, oranges, blush, browns. I think this is one of my favorites. I love this purple color, and I've made so many cups. I actually have one going now that's using this plum purple. So we're not using this one today. We will use it later. We are actually, we're going to use this one. I love these. I love when I can incorporate a wrap of some sort because it just makes it so easy to do some floral designs. And then I did two of these watercolor, like forest, deer. Can you imagine how gorgeous these are going to be on a cup? I have a plan in place and I cannot wait to show you. Some more really pretty falls. But these are all 3.5 inches wide. You'll find that the center of almost all, if not all of them, is 3.5 inches wide. This one's 3.5 inches wide because that is just standard size for a center decal, and it gives you plenty of room to get a good size, either name or phrase, motivational quote, whatever you want to put in the middle of that. And then all of these are sized, of course, whatever height that they are, but they are all sized a hair bigger than the circumference of a 24, or actually any of the plump collection from TIPSY Magnolia. That's what I primarily use. I know some of you use other brands. That's totally fine. I'm sure these are pretty universal, but I know a lot of you use that, and it is nice to have something that is almost, if not seamless, for the majority of our TIPSY Magnolia users out there. So yes, they're sized to TIPSY Magnolia plumps. However, they should be pretty universal for all other tumbler brands out there. I just wanted to make sure that, or I always try to make sure that it is seamless or near seamless on the majority of the blanks that y'all are using out there, okay? So I think we have went through all of these. We're going to go ahead and jump in on creating our tumbler. This is the one we'll use. We're just going to use this right here. So we are going to start out with a black prepped 24-ounce plump from TIPSY Magnolia. I am going to grab about 5 milliliters of a little extra incorporated epoxy, and we are going to put that on here as our base. We will be ombreing our glitter. So let me go ahead and get that and we'll get started. Okay, excuse my see-through glove. These are just vinyl gloves that I got from Walmart because I ran out of my nice black ones, and I have some others on the way. I have my respirator on because I am using epoxy. I know a couple of videos recently I did not have my respirator on, and you can tell in the video. I apologize. I definitely should be wearing my respirator, and you should be too once you mix part A and part B, or before you mix part A and part B of your epoxy. But I have had some serious respiratory issues going on since we were sick quite a few weeks ago, and it just doesn't feel like it's going away because we keep having to spend so much time outside, and I know that kind of He's like, hey, you're, you know, protecting your respiratory system, but I literally could not breathe in my mask whatsoever, and I did default to put it on a couple of times, but I think we're good now. So I have a very thin layer of epoxy. I have just used the smallest amount possible because we do not need a thick layer of epoxy to apply glitter. We want it to be extra super duper thin so our glitter is not getting lost and moving around in our epoxy. And I dab my hand all around the cup so that it takes any streaking out and we're ready to apply our glitter. So if you saw my Chase Ray Creations glitter haul, I told you that you need a brown glitter. Some people do not think that you need a brown glitter in your collection, but you absolutely do. And that's because, for one, fall. You can do all kinds of fall cups with brown. You can do sunflower tumblers. I don't know. I've used, I think I've used brown on like a cream color crackle cup before. I've used it on a couple sunflower cups. I don't know. I've used it a lot. So what we're going to do first, though, is add spiced latte coming from the top. And I'm going to bring it down to right about in this area, which is where our decal is going to end. I don't want it too thick right in here. That's when our brown is going to come in. So I took the lid off. We're going to go heavy around the top. And yes, I know my base is black. Guys, my trees are blowing sideways outside, and I'm not about to go out there and spray paint a cup brown. Yep, black is close enough. Close enough for me. So to get it not so thick down here, if you hold your cup, the higher you hold your cup, the more your glitter is going to blend, or the further you tilt it, I guess you could say. So I'm coming all the way up here and allowing my glitter to fall down. Do just a little at a time, and then just work your way. The glitter will start to build up, and then you can also come down as you make your turns around, and that will help as well. But I don't want this to be too awful thick down here in this area. I just want it kind of sparsely. Because we are going to come all the way up with our brown. That way we fill in any of those gaps and we don't see our black base through anything. Okay. You see how much black we have left down through there? That is where all of our brown is going to come in. Now I'm going to knock this off really good. That way I don't get any in our brown glitter because I don't want to waste any. So I don't want it to contaminate this glitter. So this is, again, mahogany. And I am just going to go all in with it. I'm going to try to remember not to knock any of the excess off until I have this completely covered, so I'm not getting any of my spiced latte into our mahogany. I think we're pretty well covered, but
So we're going to roll this up to flatten all that glitter out. And then what I will do is allow it to dry completely. And then I will come in with a tip brush and brush off all the excess before I epoxy. The reason I want to do that is because I just used a chunky mix that had some fine glitter in there, and I used a fine glitter over top of it. I don't want any of that fine glitter to be on top of my chunky glitter, because especially if you're using opals, it can really look like bubbles or dust under your epoxy, and it just makes my OCD not happy when I see, let's see if I can zoom in here. Will it focus? Yeah. So let me find an area where, so like right here, you see where those specks of brown are over top of my chunky specks of glitter. I want to get that off because I want my chunky specks of glitter to really get their full shining potential there. Okay, so I'm going to let this dry completely. We'll come back with a chip brush, brush all of this excess off, and to give it 2 coats of epoxy.
Okay. This turned out really good. Beautiful. We're gonna cut out this top part. I'm not going to go all the way to the top, because if I do have to sand, I want to make sure that my decal is lower than where I will be sanding. And you also want a good seal up here at the top of your epoxy. So don't go all the way up. Leave a little bit of a lip up there. Moved on me. I wanted to start coming down this way, so I'm trying to put a little bit of tension on it so I can get it to go back into place. I did get my epoxy a little bit on the thicker side. On this top, you can kind of see a little bit of a bump there. So that's what's causing it to curve on me. I got it worked out though. I'm trying not to touch the back of that. Don't want to put the fingerprint on it. and I'm trying to keep my wrist out of frame. We spent 3 or 4 days last week cutting trees because we had so many trees down in our yard, and I got all cut up. It's terrible. And then I also have sumac, which, if you're not familiar with it, it's like poison oak, poison ivy on steroids, and it looks horrible. It starts on my wrist and then it goes everywhere from there. So I'm trying to keep my arms out of frame so y'all don't have to see all that. Okay, that looks pretty good. It didn't line up exactly how I thought it would. But again, I don't use that much epoxy to cover up my glitter. So my epoxy layer is pretty thin. I'm gonna get this bubble out. And then I'm gonna trim down through here, but what I'm gonna do is probably cut this little piece off. And then I'm going to trim down the middle of this here to get rid of that overlap. Pull off the piece over top and underneath. That way our vinyl will lie flat. Now we gotta find some vinyl and a decal to cut to go on this. And I think what I'm gonna do is use some bright colors, maybe orange. I might layer our textured vinyl with some orange and a pop of maybe fuchsia or something. I don't know. We'll be back. Alrighty, so I went back to Creative Fabrica, my favorite place to get all of my images. If I have exhausted the resources on Creative Fabrica, then I'll go to Etsy. But Creative Fabrica had something simple that we could throw on this one. I know a lot of you are big into like the theme cups and stuff like that. So I'm trying over here. Okay. Trying but I'm not. This fall has not felt very pumpkin hayride, bonfires, fallen leaves, and s'mores. It's been more like brush fires, fallen trees, very hurricane-ish, you know. But but it still is kind of cute though. And while I was looking for an image, I talked to Judy over at Gracefully Created, and we did have a giveaway going on in our group. But I did mention that I was going to close it out once her sale ended, but she'll be having another sale soon, so we are going to keep that giveaway open. The details are, if you go to her website and screenshot your favorite item on her website, and you can post it in the comments in our giveaway. And then if you place an order, screenshot your order as well, and that will give you additional entries. Once I have this decal on here, I am going to just give this one coat of epoxy. So whenever I pick a winner, you're going to win our full set of elements that we just did with Gracefully Created. And you're gonna win this cup. So just in case I didn't show you them all in the very beginning, I have no idea what I did yesterday. So there's those that we used on this one. So this is what you will get when you win the giveaway. And then I'm gonna put your name on the cup. So make sure you are part of the Brittany Barnes Boutique Tumbler art group, and go enter, because we love some freebies. And I have no clue what I'm doing here, do I? I took that off and I put it back, but we're just gonna line it up. This is the gold metallic textured TECKWRAP craft, and then the white that we have in the background here is a 0.045 offset of their white pearl. And it's really hard not to use. It is a beautiful, beautiful white. Our S got a little wonky here, so we're gonna pull it off. And we'll put it on by itself. The pearl white just gives a little bit of color back there rather than a solid white. The solid white seems to be like really bold, but if you add that pearl, oh, it just looks so pretty behind everything. Okay. There is glitter everywhere. All right, where do I want to put this? Not here. Let's go. Oh. So I'm gonna put the seam in the back, because whenever I put the name on, I'm gonna use a really pretty scrolly font that's gonna have like a little swirl up here, and it will cover up the majority of that little seam. So let's put it right here. Now y'all won't see me put, and I'm gonna make this a little crooked just to be different. I like the way that the last one turned out that we put on a little crooked. Y'all will not see me add the name on, because I will pick a winner after this tutorial goes up, but I will post some pictures, of course. So I cut it straight and then decided to put this on crooked, and now my backing is crooked. It's not going to come off right. There we go. That pearl vinyl is so pretty. All right, this is ready for a coat of epoxy. So the more that I looked at this, the more I thought, I did sand it down here a little bit to get the bottom smooth, but the more that I feel like we need more white on here now, because I really like the decal. And I don't like adding shimmer into my epoxy when I have glitter in the background, because I just feel like it makes it look like bubbles. So what we're gonna do is we are going to add on some binding potion just in through these areas, and yes, you can put it over the scuffed areas. See? Shines it right up. We're gonna put just a tiny bit in through here. And we're gonna sprinkle on some carnation. From Chase Ray. We're not adding on a bunch of this, just enough to grab a little bit of hold of that glitter. I could add it into my epoxy, but I don't want to make it any thicker because I will also be adding a name on here. So then I'll have another 2 coats of epoxy on top of that. So we're just gonna try to keep it to a minimal. Carnation. Let's see if this brings it all together. See all those colors? It's hard to see, but it's showing up. For me, it really brings down the colors from our decals too. Well, it does look nice. I don't think that you guys can see it all that great, but not exactly what I was looking for. So let's add on just a little bit of farmhouse, because it does have some white, nope, silver, gold, and light pink. Just sprinkling it on. Yes. Gosh, that is not showing up good on camera, but you can see that there's some brighter pieces down there now, and it looks way better. Way better. Let's add on a little binding potion down here. And what I'll do is just allow this to dry for about 30 minutes, and then I will come back in with more binding potion and seal it in. Make sure it's not all over our decal. But yeah, I'll come back and seal it in. And then I will add on my layer of epoxy. Alright guys, you can really see those glitters now and how much it helped tie that decal in. I usually will replace the decal and just change the offset to a different color, but in this case I knew it went so well with these flowers up here. We just needed something light and bright to go with the decal on the bottom. It turned out really good. When all else fails, add more glitter, right? So don't forget, we have the giveaway going on in the Brittany Barnes Boutique Tumbler art group. If you're seeing this after the giveaway has ended, no worries, go ahead and join our group anyway. We have tons of tips and tricks in there. You can ask me questions if you'd like, and we love to see your finished projects. And we also have giveaways all the time, so you still won't be missing out. But don't forget, we have the Gracefully Created giveaway going on in the group. Make sure you join and try to win this cup and some of our florals. I hope y'all have enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. All materials will be listed down in the description. That is all for today. Thank you all so much. We'll see you next time.